Hey, it's Chris Winters here, and we're back with another little trick, a little mini training session on here with John Pierce. By now, you've probably watched the first two videos, and we're on to the third on here. And this is a topic that I've talked about before, and a lot of you out there have known about this, but it is when you over-optimize with your anchor text, what happens? And more importantly, what does it look like to have anchor text balance? And so John's going to tell us all about that.
Okay, great. Thanks, Chris. Yeah, well, what I'm going to do, first of all, is use an example of a very popular authority site, BBC. You could go to any authority site, CNN, you name it, and look at the anchor text balance that the BBC has, because the BBC is a site that has grown naturally in popularity. I'm using Majestic SEO. It's a free account. You can sign up there. You need to sign up to get this Site Explorer, but then you just pop your domain in this box here, click Go, and Majestic is going to bring up a huge amount of information. I'm not going to talk about the stuff at the top here. What I want to bring you to is down bottom right is this section here, anchor text. And what it gives you is a picture of all the anchor text. So that's the words that go with the link. So if it says click here underlined in blue and you click on that, you go to another website, the anchor text are the words click here. And of course, when we're promoting a site on Labrador training, we want to use anchor text Labrador training, but not too much. And this is why, and that's what Google's hit a lot recently, is if you over-optimize on anchor text, if you have too much all about Labrador training, you're going to fall foul of the penguin penalty. This site here, the BBC, notice 82% of all the anchor text out there is nothing to do with the BBC. It's things like, here's another article, click here, for useful information, go to this page. Other generic stuff. Why? Because that is naturally what people do when they link to your site. If there are other people out there naturally linking to your site, they're going to use varied anchor text. And if you do not have varied anchor text, a balanced anchor text out there, Google is going to penalize you. They're going to give you a penguin penalty, and you're going to be nowhere in the rankings. So let me show you in practical terms what that can mean for an SEOer who is trying to rank his site. And this is a little case study we've got of a penalty recovery we did in just 2 weeks. Now, it's a graph from our rank tracker. You can see on the left here we're listed at being number 50 in the rankings. Now, we weren't number 50. We were actually nowhere near the top 200 results on this site. It was a client site. In fact, a beta tester that came to us. We were nowhere in the top 200, but Rank Tracker only goes down to number 50, so this is where the graph sits. Now, what we did is we did a campaign to a network that we have, which we'll talk all about on the training session. We did a campaign with varied anchor text. So instead of promoting his keyword, it wasn't Labrador training, let's say it was, instead of having Labrador training on the keyword, we had other varied anchor text. And as soon as we did that, bingo, 2 weeks later, we pop out a penalty, up onto page 3, a little bit of a dance up and down, zoom, up onto page 2, stabilizes, settles down, and we're now settled on page 2, ready to do the next campaign, which will push the site onto page 1. But the first thing we could do before we can promote the site onto page 1 for the money keyword is we had to get the anchor text balance sorted out, and we'll pop straight out a penalty in a heartbeat, or in this case, in about 2 weeks. So it's pretty simple, but it's absolutely crucial. If you don't get anchor text right, you will not rank ever.
Outstanding. And that's a perfect example. And I think we've all been in this position before, especially recently on here. And there's plenty of sites out there right now who cannot figure out why they're not ranking, why they're, way below the 50 ranking mark, more like the 200 mark. They don't realize why they are. And it's a lot of times it's because they've over optimized their anchor text, or anchor text balance is not there. And John's going to go over, because he's the expert in this, he's going to go over exactly how to balance this out, and then moving forward, how to make sure that this doesn't happen and you keep a natural anchor text balance. So make sure by this time you've watched the 3 videos, including this one, so you know the kind of value that you're going to get in this training session here. So sign up below, and we'll see you on the inside. Take care. Bye-bye.